Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another episode of HGV Talks. I'm Breezy, and I got a bunch of questions from you guys this week. As usual, there's a couple ridiculous ones, but a couple serious ones in the mix. Um, I've been liking this format where you guys, send some comments and kind of gets the ball rolling, and even if some of the comments or questions are a little ridiculous, it's still fun. Still fun nonetheless. This week has been pretty solid. Not bad. I honestly had kind of a terrible day. But we'll get into that later. I'll start right out with the questions. I just posted on Facebook, so I'm gonna let that post marinate a little bit and give it a little bit of time. I got a couple questions on there, but on the YouTube, Benny and Shock both have questions. Max left another ridiculous one. Make a tier list of my viewers and make a post so they can get all, give me something to talk about by ranking my viewers, which I'm never gonna do that. But Benny said, Psychic Breezy speaking crits into existence. Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? I want to say 150 years. It's kind of a weird question. The first thing I think about when you say that is my fear of death and thinking about would I rather be able to go 10 minutes into the future so I think it takes the surprise out of everything, the fun of everything. So I feel like that would just ruin life. But then if I go 150 years into the future, I know for a fact I would look at and find out when or how I died. And I feel like that would just give me anxiety. Both of those suck. I don't want to look into the future at all. But if I had to pick, I would say 150. Um, because I mean, if I could see 10 minutes in the future, I think it would ruin everything for the rest of my life. And if I could see 150 years into the future, maybe I could somehow avoid that whole looking into my own information. Maybe I won't even be able to find out. Who knows? 150 years from now, say I live another 60 years, should I make it to my 90s? Maybe another 90 years after. I doubt there's even any information. I mean, the internet. We'll see. See how big I made it as a streamer. If I could go 150 years into the future without looking at how my life went, then I would do the 150 for sure. 10 minutes. I don't want to know fucking lottery numbers, nothing like that. I'm down living life raw dog in it, So I'll go with the 150. I'll go with the 150. If you have an answer, if you think differently, let me know. And for any other reason, these hypotheticals, I'm usually not good at them. But if you have reasoning for one or the other, let me know what you think. The Facebook of the comments we got, I'll kind of go through them, even though like half of them are all from Nathan just being ridiculous. He said, "Will Mac forget to record again in the future?" I don't think so. I think it's been too much. I think we're gonna be very, very, very cautious about not forgetting to record now. Uh, Two people, David and Nathan, both said, "How do you keep your beard so pristine or have such a great beard?" Genetics. I do literally nothing. I just go to the barber and he trims it. I do nothing special for my beard. I'm just lucky. Uh, David also said, when will you admit your true love is Franco?" I love Franco. He's one of my best friends. So yes, I do love Franco. And Nathan also said, when will Mini Breezy be born? Which he's been asking this for 2 years now. He's been asking about when me and Michelle are gonna have kids. A lot of people do, and it's been a conversation. Obviously, we've had a lot. Um, Realistically, we don't have like any set timeline. Um, we are going on a big vacation. This in like a month, hopefully. We kind of want to do like one big vacation. We never got to do our honeymoon. We got married in 2019 in the summer, and we were supposed to go on vacation in the spring of 2020. That was our plan after she graduated college because she was in her final year for doctorate, and she couldn't get no time off during it. So we were like, well, schedule it for spring or summer of 2020. And obviously, everyone knows what happened then. Couldn't go, and just never were able to go to Italy for our honeymoon. So we want to get that vacation. We want to do that. Just me and her do another big one before we really, really, start thinking more serious about when we would have kids. I would say within the next year we'll be starting to plan it. No guarantees, no promises, but soon. 2 years, 2.5 years of streaming full time with you guys has flown by. I'm sure another 6 months to a year for more information will fly by as well. So stick around, Nathan. All right. Those are the questions on that. Shock said there was a tiny delay between my voice and video, which I watched it back and I didn't see anything. I don't know if maybe he was just lagging. But if there's any issues with that, let me know. I'm completely helpful. I love when people tell me if there's any audio issues. If there actually are. If you're just trolling, stupid. But if there are any actual issues with video or anything like that, I'm all for feedback on that. Someone said something in Discord, I think, but I don't remember. They had a good question. Shock, he just said this question, which I don't really think there's a good answer for it. He's asking about how I feel about the whole, it's a hot topic, I would say, the whole transgender athlete situation of, there's that famous case of the man who transitioned to being a woman, went, I think it was, I don't know if it was high school or college swimming, and they were like broke a bunch of records or something like that, and everyone freaked out, lost their mind about it. I think it's far too soon to really know how things should be handled in those situations. My first thought when it comes to that with transgender athletes is just the physical differences between men and women when it comes to like physical combat sports really makes me nervous because it's a huge difference when it comes to men and women physically. That's just a scientific fact. It's not like a sexist thing. So I'm just nervous about if there was any sort of physical contact sports and someone got hurt. But I mean, that's really my only issue, is just making sure people are safe. In that sense, I don't really care as long as it's done fairly. Like I said, I think it's just too soon to really know how to really feel about it, because I don't think any of the sports systems, NCAA or professional level, I don't think they really know they're prepared for anything like that. And the science of the whole, when do people start transitioning and things like that, there's so much with it, and I don't know enough about it, so I can't really give a solid in-depth response to that, I would say. Like I said, as long as no one's getting hurt, it's just sports, it's just games. I think they'll figure it out. It's kind of a new experience and people are hearing about it more and more. I think as long as everyone's happy, I don't give a freak how they do it. And that's it. I think that's all the questions. I think I'm missing one. I feel like there was another question someone listed. Might have been in Discord, but maybe I'm missing it. Let me see. Let me scroll real quick. I know you guys posted. I think a bunch of people posted like a bunch of stupid stuff, but I think someone actually said something like worth responding to. Emma said, "Why do you suck?" For the content. For the content. Sainty said, "What's the schedule? How good is Seth and Pilk's head game? Just because they're team good guys. You need to stop being such a hater. And what size hat do you wear on that big head?" I don't know what size hat I am. I really don't remember. I used to wear fitted hats. If I remember correctly, I was like a 7 and like 3/4 or something like that. If that's how it worked, I think it was like a 7 something. I don't know how big that is. It's a big head. I have a big head. This is a strap back, and look how wide that is. Look at that bad liar. There's not much space. If you guys want a giveaway, you look how much I got on the end of this. This is barely tucked away in here. So if you guys want to see how big my head is, set your hat to that and put it on. That's how big my head is. I got a big old noggin. Always have. Always have. Where do babies come from? Another baby question. Oh gosh. These heathens, man. These heathens. But anyway, what else has been going on this week? I'm having a beer today. I know I'm not like drinking anymore, but my intention isn't to 100% never drink ever again. So I'm kind of testing myself. It might sound kind of weird. I talked about it earlier, but my favorite thing, or my ideal, or my dream, is to be one of those people who just doesn't drink ever, but when they feel like it on a special occasion, feeling feisty, you have a drink or two, and you don't drink again for like a month, easily. Like, it's not really something that's on your mind. It's not like some big taboo thing. I don't want it to be like that. I had my friends over the other night, and I had non-alcoholic beers, and I had a great time. And I had the urge to drink initially, because it's friends that I usually drink with. You know, they tend to do shots and stuff like that. It tends to, you know, be a quite a turn up kind of night. And I thought about drinking. I was like, why not? You know, I haven't drank in like over a month or something like that. Might as well. Or I haven't really drank much lately. But I was like, nah, I don't want to, because I know how the night will get if I do start drinking with them because they do shots. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna. So I got these Hershey's Yinglings chocolate porters. They're like a dessert more than anything. So I want to be able to just have one, maybe a second one, and then I have the day off tomorrow. I want to be able to just chill, do this, have a good night, and then be able to wake up early tomorrow, be productive tomorrow, and be able to go another week without drinking. Like it's nothing, you know? That's kind of what I want to get back to. Because what I never really drank, like I said, I've talked about this a billion times, but I never drank like super heavily. It would just be consistently. So I want to make sure that's not going to come back. I don't want to be drinking a beer or two every single day, or 3 times, 4 times a week. I want to be able to do this and go another week like it's nothing. So testing myself. I'm really trying to get that mentality and that relationship with alcohol. Shout out to Seth, because Seth is kind of the guy who I talked about today. He kind of has that. He said he used to drink a lot. Not like same kind of thing. He was like, I just drank too much, so I stopped drinking. And he was like, just saying he doesn't really drink anymore. But there are these new, like, I think it was the Mountain Dew things, the hard Mountain Dews. He was like, I want to try them, so I got some and had a couple. And he probably hasn't drank since. Like, he's not like, can't drink or else I'm gonna ruin my life. I'm thankful as hell that I don't have that type of addictive personality. I probably am like that with coffee. Coffee is very hard for me to get rid of. Get out of my life, but I want to be able to have it when I really want to, once in a blue moon. But I want it to be a very, very small thing in my life. So, cheers to that. What else has been going on? The weight loss challenge. Speaking of not drinking, because I haven't been drinking, I've been working out more, playing basketball. I've been doing at least like 30 minutes a day. I just go and shoot around, get my heart rate up, play some basketball. It feels great. I'm down 6 pounds in 2 weeks, which is pretty good. I lost like 4 pounds the first week, like 4.5. I lost like 1.5 pounds this last week. I got my Lapras tattoo from the subathon. I'm wearing sweatpants right now, so I can't show you, but it came out amazing. I'm sure most of you saw the Instagram story or Facebook story I posted. I'll try to get a good picture of it soon. And what else? Like it's the vacation coming up. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the vacation, because we're doing the breeze lock right now, which will probably be done in like a week and a half, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, which will put me to early May. And then I'm leaving on the 14th or the 15th. So it's going to be kind of probably like a week. Unless I lose this breeze lock in the next like 2 episodes, which is possible. There's probably going to be like a week between finishing this series and going on vacation. I've been kind of thinking I'll be gone for like 10 days, 10 or 12 days. I'm not I want to set up a playthrough for that time that's specific to that time. It might be a different game. It might be a completely new game. Or it might just be another Pokemon type playthrough that I do, and I just pre-record the entire thing for those 14 days. I wouldn't be able to get you guys comments for nicknames and whatnot, but I don't know. I kind of want to plan something special for that time. The last time I went on a vacation, I said I was gonna do the same thing, and I never ended up pre-recording everything. So I want to do it for real this time. Podcast, I'll probably just skip it during that. Podcast, I like these. These are, like I said, they're more for me than anything. These don't get crazy views or nothing. They're just something I like to do to rant about a bunch of things. So yeah, I think I'll set up a playthrough for that. I like this a game recently I wanted to do a YouTube playthrough of, but I don't remember what. I don't know. If there's any single player games you want to see me play, let me know. Always like hearing suggestions, even if you said it a million times. Tell me again. I may or may not play it. Who knows? Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I don't really have much of a recap this week. It's kind of a chill. Oh no, you know what I do want to get into? Because I said I started this off saying I kind of had a crappy day. Um, and this is something I honestly hesitate to even want to talk about this because I feel like there's no way to talk about it without it coming off wrong. Like how I hear this is how I don't want it to come off, but I don't think there's a way for me to explain it without you guys hearing it in a way that's gonna think, oh, he's talking about money, because that's all it is. But we were talking about someone said something about when are you gonna have a mini breezy, Nathan, and the thought of having kids. And I talk about this is like I think I talked about it in the last podcast, but the worst, yeah, the pros and cons of being a streamer, the con of it, where it's like there's no guarantees to anything. Uh, it just happened today. Like it happens all the time, but today for some reason was on my mind more because my wife had the day off, and I was just gonna had my YouTube video go up. Soul Link went up on Mac's channel. I was gonna stream, get some Pokemon Soul Silver worked on, and then I was gonna take the rest of the day off with her. No big deal. I would have if I got 0 subs or 0 donations the entire day. I wouldn't have even thought about it. This thought probably would have never happened. But I'm doing that. It's probably around 11 o'clock or so, and my wife gets a text from her work saying that they need her to come in if she can. They're asking her to cover her shift, and she doesn't want to go in because she just worked 2 days in a row. She worked 14 hours. She was exhausted. She wanted the day off. She really, really didn't want to go in. But they pretty much begged her, and she finally agreed. And she was like, all right, I'm going to go in. She was like, at least, it's some overtime. She gets some extra pay, which is obviously a great thing. And, this is literally like the topic I talked about. I was like, before, when you're working a regular job, if you need more money, hopefully you're in a job that has overtime opportunities. You can just work overtime and make more money. So I was saying it obviously jokingly. I know my job's not the same, but I was like, if you're going to go work all day, I'll work all day. I'll work some overtime too. And I work, quote unquote, overtime, aka I just do a wicked long stream. And because of it, like being in that format, like in that setting of us talking about her working overtime and getting paid more, and I'll say I'll work overtime too, and then not having like, I hate it. I hate even talking about this, but like it only triggered in my mind because of this conversation about working overtime, and I was joking about the fact I was working overtime, and then like having just a quiet day of like donations. I hate that it got to my head, and it got me in. It's a reminder of how inconsistent this job is and how there's no guarantees, and that's one of the cons of the job in my opinion. So it just got to my head a little bit and kind of put me in a bummed out mood. But days go by. I could have 30 days of quiet days, and then I could have one crazy day where you guys go ballistic, and it makes up for 30 days. And that's how it's always been, and that's how it'll always be. But it's just impossible for me to just ignore it. And I've always had always had the belief to be completely straightforward and honest with you guys when it comes to just, I don't know, I'm feeling about anything, whether it's, about money related or not, so, Mac just commented on Twitter because I posted the same thing, sent a question for the podcast. He said, why could we never remember to record? But yeah, so I've always felt like it's important to be just straightforward and honest with you guys. I know in the back of my head it's just me being ridiculous and stupid, but doesn't mean it's not a real feeling, just because you might think it's stupid or unwarranted or something like that doesn't mean it's not real. So yeah, it's kind of why I was feeling in a pretty blah mood, but I just made some sourdough bread. Gonna have some dinner tonight with my wife when she gets out of work. Got a good workout in today. Been losing weight. Things are going good. Weather's getting nice. Been cleaning the yard. Things are good. Things are good. And I'm hoping things will continue to grow and get more consistent over time. So that when me and my wife are ready to have kids, it's in a situation that's ideal. So I'll be on the lookout if you guys leave any comments with questions or just anything you want to talk about, it's just in response to this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.